What's going on, everybody? It's Ryan Harper Podcast. Still douchey thing to say. Today, I've got Yana Yeager, Natalie Gonzalez, and we're going to be talking about marketing. And the reason I called y'all in is like, hey, y'all help us out with the front work at the front desk at some events, and y'all are marketing majors. And a lot of the stuff that I've done in the past several years has been marketing, but I don't have an academic background in marketing. So I thought it'd be cool to bring y'all in to talk about marketing, especially from an academic standpoint.
Well, we can't tell you much, but
that's the podcast. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Y'all. Good night.
Don't go to school. But really, I think marketing, the good thing about it is that you really can either, I guess, go the academic route or find it all by yourself. I know that I have found a lot of tools and stuff that have definitely directed me into a different part of marketing, not that's just taught in my classes. Mm-hmm. My classes have exposed me obviously to a bunch of like little I guess subsections of marketing, but they never really just show you like the fun stuff. It's mostly just like curriculum based almost.
So what does that mean? And like when you say curriculum based or fun stuff or like even the things that you're doing outside of school itself, like what does all that mean? So
like, I don't know, as a person, I switched from literally being like pre-law to marketing, and then I didn't know what it held. Like I didn't know what marketing was, and I mean I just kind of went into it, but it really just they kind of just stick to a curriculum. They don't show you how like I don't know, you could make an app or something and like use it to help you with advertising, or like how SEO really works and how it can help you build a brand, or like I don't know, build up your own business or anything. They just kind of like dip into it, and then they're just like, all right, like we're gonna have a quiz on it. Good luck.
So y'all are both at SMU though, right?
No, we're at UT Dallas.
UT Dallas. My bad. I just assumed. But so that's still a lot of money to go to school just to read a couple books. They're not teaching any ninja stuff.
At least my opinion on marketing, it's so like dependent on like culture and like generations and stuff. So I think we have a different view of marketing than how it was, 20 years ago. But it's definitely helpful in the sense of like learning how to kind of group people, like, those like target demographics, just like the logistical aspects of marketing. Like I think I'm learning a lot about business.
Right.
And just like everything that goes into creating a business, because obviously we're taking like accounting classes, finance, ITS.
Well, do they, because I know in other pretty much, well, I don't know all, but I know in several majors, there's a history of what is going, like what led up to that point. Mm-hmm. Is there a history of marketing, or are you like forced to like watch Mad Men to realize the advertising marketing world, that's how it was in the 50s and 60s? Or do they even talk about newspaper ads or stuff like that? Or is it just like all TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook?
No, I think they definitely, not that they focus on like older stuff, but they're like, these are the different types of like marketing campaigns. Like, there's like physical stuff. And then now there's been a shift into more digital stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm taking a digital marketing class right now, so I can't delve too much into it because like the third week of class. But
right. Well, again, I'm not here to quiz y'all. I'm just trying to think, because in my role in the marketing world has just been like trial and error, and in my view of what marketing is just eyeballs, getting people's attention, and then getting them to your event, getting them to buy your product, getting them to be just aware that you're alive. So that's why I wanted to have this conversation, because it's like, what do y'all think marketing is?
It's just weird. Yeah, because like even with my job currently, I feel like I've learned a lot about marketing in the sense because I kind of see that whole trial and error aspect of it, but it's so dependent on like what product you're selling, because if you're kind of doing something like fun and like young, kind of said maybe TikTok, like that's kind of like a avenue that you would go about. But if you're marketing like supply, office supplies, then it's a very
competitive and not as a popular, I guess, aspect.
Well, because I know like it seems like when you meet people, especially younger, like, what do you do? I'm in advertising, I'm in sales, I'm in marketing. And it's just like, okay, but what attracted y'all to that? So, because again, if you don't really know how to answer what marketing is to you or what academia is telling you to do it, like, why did you do it?
I think business has always interested me, at least when I was kind of looking at what I wanted to major in. I was like, I didn't want to do pre-med, I didn't want to do engineering. Like, I wanted to work in business, and I like that aspect of marketing where you analyze people and your like product and market and see what's going to work. Like, there's more, like, I think advertising is a lot more creative than marketing, but I like that more like creative and kind of.
So in your classes, are they kind of going into like, okay, the demographics, the socioeconomic details, and like, what are they telling you about that stuff?
Well, they tell us how demographics play into almost anything that you want to sell, which is kind of understandable, right? But they also show us ways that we could possibly read them. We honestly can't, firsthand be like, oh, let's go analyze all these people. That's going to take time and money that we don't have.
Right.
But they show us ways that it has been done and ways that it can be done, especially with the new like emerging surveys or anything like that, like with Qualtrics and all of that stuff. So
like, what is that?
Qualtrics is a company that does like really good surveys.
Okay.
And, shout out. But
affiliate below.
I don't know. But like what marketing really is to me is honestly, I have taken the digital route where I have really just liked the overall, like, I guess, back plan of how people see things. And I feel like that is just what interests me. I don't know exactly how I got there. My parents told me, you're probably going to end up doing something that you don't get, like, your degree in or whatever, and I didn't believe them. But then I switched, and I didn't go to law school. Sorry. And then, so I'm doing...
Big regrets 10 years from now.
Yeah, I bet I'll be looking back like, why didn't you just push through?
To us young people.
Perfect.
Greta.
Yeah.
But, really just... marketing also gives me the exposure to people that I think I wouldn't have had if I did go the political route in the way that I want to. I feel like politics has the stigma of like, always being proper. That is like how you're like when you're relaxing, you're like, I don't know, in a suit relaxing, and then like you're going somewhere, you're in a suit. It's like you're always, like have like this front face in front of everyone. And obviously, why would you go into politics other than, to, I guess, make it big or like
dominate in world.
Don't get too carried away. But like, I guess that is what any political student kind of wants to do, have that platform, do those debates and all of that. That's kind of what I wanted to do. But then I thought about it and really just, I couldn't really do like accounting or anything like that.
Yeah.
Math really
But
just.
But what's interesting about the politics though is I would argue in a lot of ways, politics is just marketing yourself.
Yeah.
Because like, and then I was at a public speaking thing away like 6 months ago, and one of the things they talked about was you only have 3 ways to consume somebody's message. One's visual, one's audio, and one's like the content itself. And just a quick quiz, if you add all 3 of those up together, it's 100%. So what do you think is the visual component of that?
Like in politics or just in general?
Just in general.
I mean, social media obviously has become.
Well, I'm talking about, so like I'm on stage and I'm giving a presentation.
Oh, yeah.
And an audience has 3 ways to consume that presentation.
Right.
One's the way I look, one's how I sound, and then one's what I'm actually saying.
Okay.
So all 3 of those together is 100%, right? What do you think the visual component is?
Honestly, just how you like dress and present. And
No, like what, like the actual percentage?
I don't know. Maybe you answer that question.
I'd say 50.
Okay. And what do you think the audio version is?
I'd say 10.
And what do you think the content version is?
Rest, like
30. 40?
30.
So from what I've been told, it's 55% visual, 38% audio.
Really?
And like 7%, 8%, whatever that difference is of what you're actually saying. And that's it, and it's like, oh my God, that's so depressing.
Well, no, I knew about the visual thing. I know, like, if you have like that image, then people will obviously like look at you.
So when you turn it into politics, though, and this is again according to that thing I was at, like during the '08 election with Michelle Obama, or with Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, like Michelle Obama was being looked at as if she was too hard, she was too, whatever, like aggressive or whatever you want to call it. So her team started making her wear floral print dresses to soften her. And to me, that's still marketing. That's still that world, but it's like that's so calculated, and I don't know. It seems kind of slimy.
But one thing that our school has taught on, and like just throughout my marketing classes, is that more businesses are implementing some sort of marketing department, even though before they didn't have it. So I think a lot of people tend to overlook, or at least in the past overlook marketing, and now they're just like, no, like this is really important, because kind of what you're saying, like little stuff like that, you don't realize that kind of affects, success, whether it's politics or your business.
So as far as your classes go, and again, are y'all first year, second year, third year, senior? I don't even know where y'all are at.
I'm a senior.
Okay.
I'm a junior.
And then, like, does that mean like you're going to be thrust into the world of or trying to find a job like in a semester or two?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
So, but that's what's funny to me though. Is like, okay, so what's the path then? You're like, okay, I got to get an internship. Well, I know you've done. That's how I met you with a shout out to Christiana Yebra at her event as an intern. But then it's just like, I don't really know anything. I just have a degree, so now I got to figure it out.
No.
Okay.
But I feel like that's with every major. Like,
well, of course,
really knows.
I'm just basically
me personally.
Well, the reason I'm asking this is not because I'm like, oh, I want to interview how y'all are doing. I'm just like if I'm doing a lot of marketing stuff and what did I miss out on? That's what I'm trying to get at. Like this whole conversation or the idea about it is, okay, if I do marketing and I don't have a marketing degree, did I miss anything?
Yes. Next question.
What did I miss?
Okay. To break it down,
please.
Honestly, I think that without a degree, you really can't achieve most of what we are learning. Everything, through Google. There's a bunch of like I think it's like UX Academy or something. You can go and learn SEO. Mm-hmm. You can go and learn SQL or whatever that you need to like try and improve websites, improve I don't know, exit rates, bounce rates, whatever traffic for your website to get there, to get to popularity on the web or through whatever marketing output you want. But I feel like through UT Dallas and what it has taught me is, first of all, how to market myself. It really has shown me that there's tons of competition there. Everyone is smart, at least for the most part. Some people do make me feel good about myself, where I'm like, I'm not the dumbest.
I would argue on that
point.
Thank you. I would hit you back with 99.99% of people are stupid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're smart.
So what really also like shines through like schoolwork is how you're supposed to really give that like end result, and what is really expected of you. And honestly, like the little tedious tasks that go into trying to complete, I don't know, really just any assignment to try and teach you things that it's almost like almost second nature. Like you already know what to do. Like that is what I really think that going through like college really teaches you, that you really can't teach yourself almost, like, yeah, you can go through it, but like having that pressure and that competition and like constantly trying to, do better or like face the deadlines, get the during like the pressure times, like get everything done. Like that's something that I really think that people might miss out on. But there's so many people that are not taking the college route and doing so much better than people that do get like those college
mm-hmm.
degrees all over the world. And honestly, I like look at them and I'm like, thanks.
So as far as like consuming media, like do y'all remember the first way you consumed media?
Yeah.
What was that?
Coca-Cola.
Like,
I was absolutely obsessed.
But was it like a
Coca-Cola
TV?
can.
Oh, it was a Coca-Cola can.
Oh yeah,
That's an interesting answer.
thank you.
That's crazy. Anyway, what about you, Natalie?
I mean, I feel like TV was such a big part of radio definitely. Because,
Like actual radio? Like terrestrial? Or like Sirius radio?
like serious. Or, like, in the
Really?
car. Maybe not
Well, that's what I'm
serious.
saying, because I'm like, I mean, again, I'm not old, but to y'all, I'm probably old.
Maybe-
But like, did you really listen to the radio, or did you have like an iPod?
Like, when I was younger, I didn't get an iPod until I was, like, 7 or something.
Okay.
Because I think, like, what iPods came out in, like, early...
I don't know.
Yeah. But, yeah, there's definitely a period... Like, I had, like, a CD player when I was,
Right.
like, really young.
Right.
But... Yeah, either TV, like that's kind of like my earliest memories, like watching, Disney and Nick and like seeing all those like ads, but radio definitely like in the car with my parents.
So, but what's interesting, the reason I was bringing up like the radio versus, because like I'm in that weird generation where half of or a lot of my life was pre-internet. And then, I got right when I got into college, that was like internet. So it's like with you guys, like you've always had the internet, right?
Sort of.
Well, not in the Middle East, but over here.
No, I remember sending my first email when I was 6 to my dad. I was behind like a huge desktop, and we had like a whole setup, and I was like, "Hi, Dad.
But
Hope this email finds you well."
like, I guess the concept, what I'm trying to get to is like, can you even comprehend what it's like not to be able to find infinite answers at your fingertips?
No, but I think at least our age, it was kind of like we grew up with internet, but not completely integrated into our lives until like maybe like late elementary school, like middle school, because
It's still grown up.
it's still growing up. But I'm just saying that, you see kids now with like iPhones and stuff, like whenever they're really young, like I didn't get an iPhone until like late middle school.
Right.
Or no, I mean high school, but I didn't get like a smartphone until like, late middle school. So it's just like,
I have a big ass grin because I was like, I remember getting a flip phone like in college. And I'm like, oh shit, I made it. I got a phone.
exactly.
I know. Like the razors.
And also like stuff like iPads that you see just like kids playing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's like, I know what you're saying, that we definitely did grow up with the internet, but we had more of a traditional childhood without internet whenever we were like young.
So not to focus on youth or anything, like flipping it over back to like, okay, now I'm in a position of work mode. If somebody was like, whatever company, this pen was like, okay, I need you to design a campaign to target like 75-year-olds. Like, what does that look like to you guys?
I mean,
Really? To 75-year-olds?
I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah.
I mean,
Because the whole reason we get into this is because we were at that event or earlier in the month,
yeah.
and we started like a 45-minute conversation about TikTok,
Right.
and y'all were like looking at me like I'm an idiot, and I'm like,
Right. Okay. So what does the pen have to do with it?
what's that?
What do you want us to do with the pen?
Just whatever, any product, any campaign,
To a 75-year-old
just
crowd.
an older generation. Because earlier we were talking about marketing is so much about demographics and figuring out who the people are and how you're targeting them. Well, it doesn't have to be a 75-year-old. Just pick a random thing and like, okay, then what?
Well, then you have to see who it applies to, obviously.
Right.
So, like, if it was a pen, you would probably target, like, the working class.
Right.
Or also students. So you would have that age gap, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, like, depending on if you were trying to have your own business or if you're trying to be a distributor. So if you're trying to be a distributor, it'd be like, we're partnering up with Staples. We have a nice pen, real good. It flows so nice. Sometimes it comes with glitter, sometimes it doesn't. For the 3-year-olds, you can eat it too. There we go. And then they'll eat the pen if they want to. If they don't, they get a different pen for the older ages.
Right.
And then you can have different types of pens.
I mean, maybe for like a 75-year-old crowd, maybe they want a more bougie pen or something like that. So you kind of look into like what colors, kind of like styles, and you might like.
Right.
not like professional pen, but obviously with like college students, like one of those like super cheap like ballpoint pens.
Well, what's interesting is because like in my mind, if like the way I intended the question was, the pen is there, and then it's just like, okay, I'm not trying to change the product, I'm trying to change the messaging to that person. But y'all both received maybe I'm just really bad at communicating, which is probably true, but receiving what I was saying is like, okay, well, let's figure out what they actually need. So is that the actual way of figuring out what marketing really is going, okay, instead of trying to sell the 75 person or whoever it is, this one product, let's figure out what that person is and what that product is, and then figure out the product they need?
Yeah.
That's like sales. Yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest part about, I think, marketing in general is like the business has to establish what they're selling, what their target like this is stuff that they figure out before they even really kind of go about like the whole like marketing process. Is like they need to establish what their space in the market is. So some company like was it Bic that they sell the pens?
Yeah.
I mean, they have like numerous kinds of like types of pens. So I think they kind of target that stuff as, at different demographics, but I think this is a lot of like background stuff.
Right. Mm-hmm. What, as far as like in academia, do they ever talk about like marketing blunders? Like things that really didn't work?
I mean, yeah.
Like what are they, have you ever heard of the AIDS diet candy?
AIDS diet candy? What is that?
No.
It's like literally like I'm losing weight with delicious aid of AIDS. AIDS.
When did that happen? Like 90s?
I think it was like 70s, 80s.
Yeah. Well, there's still like a bunch of things that still like don't make it into the market because it's too similar to other things that are so popular on it. So
what do y'all think is going to work the most in 2020 or 2021 or 2022? Like, what are you most excited about going into the workforce in the marketing world and going, okay, I bring this to the table. I think you've been doing this. I think you should do it this way. What do you think people should be doing to launch any product? And just don't even focus on the product itself, but focus on the messaging, I guess.
I think like one of the biggest things that bothers me is just kind of like all those like really weird scammy kind of like, there was like this sudden influx of like all these like digital products that you see online, and it's kind of getting to a point that was like, we see the scams, we know what to like watch out for. So it's like kind of changing that whole like market with like e-commerce and stuff like that. And I don't know, I think there needs to be a big change with that, because even like on Amazon you kind of see all these like weird like sketchy like products.
So so there needs to be a change. So what do you change to?
I mean, I think it's like making your whatever company you work for is just kind of like establishing yourself like these are quality products. You're not gonna go. That's like the biggest thing that stands out to me right now. Mm-hmm. That all of a sudden people are like outing all these companies for like not selling things that, like the stuff that they show online is different than like the stuff that they actually send you. So it's, again, it totally depends on like the product that you're selling, but it's just like making it, appear.
So earlier we were talking about like how in school they teach a lot, but they don't teach at all. Like it's academic, but not really, you don't really know anything. Like, what is it that you wish they would teach you in school?
I guess more hands-on.
Yeah.
You could definitely take classes. Like I'm in a marketing research class.
Or even like last semester I took brand management, and like I helped this like charity promote themselves for like what was it called? Like Giving Day. Mm-hmm. Giving Day is where like all these charities raise a bunch of money like on the same day. So I like helped them out with their campaign.
So when you were helping out with that campaign, when you were working with them, it was an internship, right?
No, it was part of the class.
Oh, it was part of the class.
Yeah, like the class paired us up with a charity, and it was like an assignment.
So when you're in that class and you were with them on assignment, was it a one-way street where you're just soaking in all the information, or were you like, okay, I'm contributing, and then on top of that, was it ever like, why are you doing it this way? This other way is so much better.
I mean, I think that was like the whole point of it, that we were supposed to like analyze what they were doing and then bring our input. people, totally depended on the charity. Like some people had way more flexibility with what they did. Like some people had full control of their like social media accounts. For me, it was a little bit different. I just kind of like gave the lady like suggestions and like was like, this is what you should do. But it was taking what we were learning in class and then analyzing that organization and giving our advice to them.
I had a marketing projects class that I took, and we were paired with this startup. It was Code Blue Jewelry, and she makes medical bracelets that are more professional looking. So like most medical bracelets look like they're made by like Boy Scouts. And she's essentially making ones that you could, wear in like a more professional setting with like rose gold little trinklets and stuff like that. And essentially she didn't have much of a platform to begin with. Her main way, since she didn't have a physical store or anything, her main way of like projecting her product was through social media. So we were completely set in charge of, making the ads, first of all. Then we were supposed to, put them in the right social media and then analyze which had more traffic and stuff like that, and then keep on doing them routinely. And then we would have to reach out to other businesses and try to like do the promotion stuff, like, hey, like give us a shout out or whatever. And so it was very much like a business to business and then business to consumer aspect that we were just thrown into as like students that didn't know much about it. So I guess that's a part of academia that like I really do appreciate, because it gives you that exposure without really like knowing much of the outside world. They kind of just like introduce you to it, because like the only way that I would probably get to do that is through connections. And like, how would I know like this random girl that like sells medical bracelets, Right. So I think that was very valuable for me, because I literally was held in charge of like accounts, not only social media but financially as well, because like we handled all her purchases and stuff like that, and we had to like analyze like how many people like went onto her site that day, because we would also like post on certain days like Mother's Day, there's like Nurses Day, Doctors Day and stuff like that. And so it was really like a great learning experience. And I think through those types of things, because I'm taking that class that she is, like where we have to partner with a nonprofit, and I don't really know, you essentially just change their marketing plan almost as much as they let you. And that is really just the hands-on that I appreciate.
Well, yeah, I would say that to me, the way I like to do stuff like work or whatever is like I need complete carte blanche. Just if I want to move something, I just move it. I don't ask for permission. I just do it. So like, I would appreciate that too. You brought up social media, like for you guys, is social media, do y'all look at it from an organic standpoint, from a paid standpoint, both, all inclusive? And what is social? Is that Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, podcast?
I definitely look at social media from both, because I follow a lot of like people, and you can see like, oh, it's a paid partnership with this, and like there's really weird like, I don't know, like ads. Yeah. It's almost like listening to you, like I don't know, I was talking, I don't even know, about headbands, and then like I'm just scrolling through Instagram, and then like headbands on Amazon, and I'm like, I don't really need them. But
or even yesterday I was talking about Southwest versus American Airlines, and I was saying like, oh, I'm probably gonna buy the American Airlines ticket, and sure enough I had a Southwest ad like on my Twitter like later that day, and I was like,
Southwest is like, fuck you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your phone had microphones on them.
Yeah, that's one thing that we were talking about in my social media class like this past Tuesday, is that all those terms and conditions say that they have access to your microphone even whenever you're recording something, and they're just like listening for like trigger words, and you just kind of implant that. But I think social media has two sides to it. Like there's definitely like the consumer like aspect of it, that these businesses are trying to sell you things, but there's like those random people just posting things.
Well, and that's the thing is like there's people that have thousands and thousands of followers, the influencers, whatnot. And then there's people that just, have their 17 and they're in it just for their family or their friends. But from a business standpoint or personal brand standpoint, like I know in the real estate community, the community I'm in, like video content, audio content, just really going overboard on it. I don't want to say overboard, but just really committing to it. Like the whole Gary. Do y'all know who Gary Vee is?
No, not at all.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
who is that?
Thank you.
Anyway, he's a big influencer in our world, like an entrepreneur world. He does a ton of content. Literally, his messages are, fuck you, do the work. Just do the work, happiness, gratitude, and do more content. That's basically what he says in every video he does. But he's really big in our world. I forgot why I was bringing him up. But who were people that y'all like look to for mentorship or that in the field of marketing, or is it you don't even think in those terms yet?
It's weird because I've like, as far as like influencers, I don't have like this like marketing guru that I look at, but I've had a really close relationship with like the head of the marketing department, and I've talked to her a few times about just kind of personal career questions. So I think I've definitely, like, my professors are my main source of like guidance at the moment.
Got it. That's because it's, again, in our world, it's like you have people like, so what content do you consume?
Like for fun, just like
in general, yeah.
I definitely am more of a YouTube person. I don't really use like stuff like Netflix as much, but I know that's super popular. Twitter, I use a lot. Instagram.
But is it like dance videos? Is it cooking videos? Is it vloggy stuff? Is it personal stuff? Is it drama?
All over the place. Like it's
like if I opened up your phone right now, what's like the first recommended video it's gonna say to watch?
David Dobrik.
I'm not a David Dobrik person. I love Bon Appetit. Like
okay. But that's fun. It's cooking. It's fun. That's cool though.
I follow some beauty people, not so much anymore.
Right.
I definitely do watch some like drama stuff.
I watch Live PD.
Live PD. What is that?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
It's cops but live.
But
yeah,
actually live.
Yeah, it's live, and it's like all over the United States, and you go for ride-alongs, and like there's people that,
we should have led with this.
It's wonderful. Let me tell you, like there's people that they pull over, and they're like, no, I'm not cracked out, and they're like, yes, you're clearly cracked out. And then they're like, no, I promise. They can't walk in a straight line, and it's just so funny to watch it. It's the best. Because it's like real life. Like you can't believe that like things like this are happening like outside.
Is it live stream?
Yeah. Well, no, it can be. But like I just watch it on YouTube and they just have like snippets. Or you can also do like location. So you can, like the Florida man. You can literally just go to Florida and like every single person they pull over is a Florida man type of deal.
Now, is this a YouTube thing?
Yeah. I mean, it's also on, I think it's on cable, right?
True TV or something like that.
Yeah, it's on cable, but it's all posted on YouTube.
Do they have advertising? Like, how do they make money?
They have at least
Sponsors.
on YouTube. It's like they'll have sponsors, but then they'll have like ad breaks throughout the video.
Okay.
It's so wonderful. You just should know about it already. I don't understand how you don't. I mean,
well, y'all don't know who Gary
it's
Vee
peak
is,
entertainment. Like, but this is cops. They're everywhere.
So if you were perfect example.
Okay.
Since you clearly are, we
don't get
we
me
got
started.
her. We got her. Finally got some excitement. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
You have to market Live PD to the 75-year-old. Go. Did I just crush her?
But that's also not the.
They don't drive.
It's not the market for something like that.
How dare you?
Yeah, how dare I? But like they don't drive, and they're honestly like, if I see some like old person get pulled over by a cop, I don't think they're gonna get a ticket because they're like, oh, like I just didn't see the stop sign. They're like, you're right. You can't see.
You have to think about the content that people like. You're not gonna sell silly putty to like a 75-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's kind of the same thing with this type of online content. Not that somebody older won't be into it, but it's mainly gonna. And
I just want to make one thing clear. I am not 75.
I know you're not.
Okay, good. Y'all look at me like 75. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, even on YouTube, like there's like recommended videos and stuff. I don't really know the backgrounds of that stuff, but I'm sure there's some sort of algorithm that goes into.
So do they not go into that stuff like the back end of Facebook, the back end Instagram, YouTube, emerging platforms? Or is it more like academic concepts?
I just had a class on Facebook, actually. Like, that specific class was all about Facebook. So, but
I would say they more focus on, like, Instagram and Facebook more than any other social media almost.
Yeah.
Because you can do so much with the ads there.
Well, I learned something. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I feel like a dick now.
No, it's okay.
No, finish.
Oh, it's all good.
Well, I just learned something yesterday about how you should never use a lookalike audience, like when you're building out audiences, because lookalike audience. Oh no! You shouldn't build a lookalike audience, and the reason being is, say I'm trying to target the 75-year-old whatever, and they have similar features, or like, hey, I'm targeting them because they're a real estate investor. And I do a lookalike audience, but say they like Disney stuff. Well, apparently Facebook, they're going to build a lookalike audience saying, oh, well, he likes Disney, so other people that like Disney probably likes this stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was told by a trusted person that lookalike audiences are worthless.
They do give...
No.
I got
that. They definitely... we have learned about that, and like you can it's definitely a hit or miss with some demographics, because you have to definitely look at not only like the age group, you also have to look at where they're from, where they, I don't know, grew up in or something like that. You know, you definitely have to take all of that into account. So like having one demographic is not going to actually mirror the demographic that maybe you're targeting, just because of personality reasons, cultural reasons, social reasons, and so on and so forth. Like even economic reasons obviously could definitely impact the way that people choose things over one thing to another. And it's honestly just like, again, like one thing that I learned is that you shouldn't be afraid to fail. It's something that I was really afraid of in the beginning of my college career, for sure, because I was like, oh, if I don't get A's, like mom's going to kill me. But like, and not only did I stop getting A's, but through the whole, you know, going into marketing and like sales especially, it's like if you don't get a sale, like what are you going to do, beat yourself up? No, like you're just going to go and like try another person and stuff like that. And like the same thing goes for like marketing and trying to really like nail down who you're going to sell to. If your product is actually good, that's also very hard to hear for a lot of people. Like if your product is actually going to make it, and like you spend so much time and like money and whatnot into it. So just the trial and error of things, and like really just like there is no one formula for it. Although there is like a certain path maybe you should take, there isn't like a for sure 100% thing that you can do to like make it with your marketing tactic. That is why you should have a marketing like plan, but also like know that you can always tweak it in order to make sure that your product and whatever sales that you are meeting that quota and stuff. Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
It really is though. Mm-hmm. Like, is that what gravitates you to like this world? Is just the minor tweaking or getting the message out? Or is it just like, I really hated law stuff, so I don't know what you did before.
No, I was always marketing. Okay. I've stayed with it, but kind of like what she was saying before, like stuff like accounting and like finance. I'm like, I don't really like that kind of stuff, but there's a certain freedom, creativity with marketing that, makes it kind of more difficult, because like, you know, if you're an accountant, you do the same stuff. Like, you know, that doesn't change. Like the way you know, fill out reports and stuff like that doesn't change. But with marketing, it's so specific with like the current state of the market that is, you know, you just have to like analyze stuff and see what works and doesn't work.
Well, because even with the video content, like obviously YouTube's been around forever, but even in the real estate investing niche, like in the last 2 years, like the amount of Facebook Lives, the amount of shows, the amount of podcasts, like even stuff like this has increased dramatically. It's like on fire. When in terms of like what is UTD telling you? Like, do they even go into what the next thing is going to be, or is it more just, hey, this is what it was 5 years ago because that's what the textbooks say, and good luck to you?
No, they definitely push up and coming things. Obviously not too advanced, just because we can't, unless you're going through that path, they can't just introduce you something and just be like, hey, like dive into it and like learn everything about it. So there's definitely like the digital classes that you can take, and they tell you how and like the ways that you can operate like what is it, Google Analytics, stuff like that, and like how SEO works. And they like show you how to do those things, which are obviously which are things that have been around for a little bit, but they're still growing. So I guess they're taking a little bit of a safer route by showing things that are still compatible and still things that can like push you and like are very valuable in this type of world and stuff if you're very good at it and all. But in terms of like, like futuristic and I guess not futuristic things, they obviously know about like AI and like things that get incorporated into that with marketing and all. But if you think about it, like why would you teach a marketing student, like just if it's like in a base level class about AI, especially with zero programming, like zero systems, like knowledge, that is so much more coursework that is needed in order to know just this one type of thing, so given our background, we are supposed to take a certain set of classes. Like we couldn't do, like all the balance sheets in the world in accounting if we've only taken like an intro to accounting class. Honestly, I hate it. And like, I would never want to do another balance sheet in my life, but what if they need us to do that? Right. Mm-hmm. So I guess they're just taking a safer route and a route that just like introduces it to us and things like that are compatible with the world right now. Not per se things that are going to like show us what we can do in the future or whatnot. They definitely can say you can go deeper into it if you'd like. And I think if you're taking it with Edsel,
yeah,
he gives you another, like, you can go deeper. He gives you another like lecture on like what AdWords and like analytics can do like in a deeper sense. And so he does, like, there are professors that will give you that opportunity, but that's only if you want it. So like I went ahead and like I started learning Java and JavaScript because I wanted to go the digital route. I've also gotten like I think I have like 5 certifications for like Google search, just because I like found that interesting from that one class. So it's really just how much you can do on your own, because I feel like marketing, you can really just take on your own self, because you can either make yourself as a marketing person, like you have your own brand, or you go and help something like another brand with something that you can offer. So like my niche behind that is really just being I like research and I like understanding things. Like I want to understand why this happens so I can deliver this aspect, so that's why I kind of like the digital part, because I feel like now at this day and age, that's where you get all of that information. Mm-hmm. And like you can alter it too. I love manipulating. Shout out mom. So I'm kidding.
You love manipulating mom?
No, my mom is manipulative.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
No,
I'm totally kidding. What mom isn't? I mean, like.
No, you're right.
I'm kidding. Love you.
I guess kind of what she was going off about it. Like, it totally depends. Like, you have flexibility with your upper elective. So if you want to go into sales, then you can go take advanced sales. If you want to do digital stuff, you can do more digital stuff. Or even like with advertising, like that's such a different, like whenever you actually work in advertising, it's about like creating commercials and like ads. Like that's so different than like figuring out some sort of like marketing plan for your company, like you're just focusing on like the creative aspect with advertising. But it's like experience ultimately will trump just taking a class over something.
Of course, yeah.
So I feel like the class I'm taking is giving me a good basis of understanding how marketing works, but like until I'm in the workforce, then it's like.
Well, and again, the whole basis of helping me on here is because people ask me all the time, well, what do you do? And I'm like, marketing, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I think there's a misconception of what that is.
Yeah. Because
a lot of times marketing could encompass, what is the word, kerning? Like, kerning. Do you know kerning? No? Tommy, you describe it because you told me I don't want to pretend like I know.
It's just the space and size of letters. Like if you have the same width between all your letters, it might look funny. So like G's and T's have different widths before the next letter comes. And so there's a whole study of that, how far away based on what font. And it's called kerning. It's really weird that it's something you don't think about like that. That would need to be thought about. But if you look at stuff without it versus with it, you'll realize
how weird it looks. Yeah.
And the only reason, I know that could be a lot of like digital, like the graphic design standpoint, but a lot of ways that also translate into the marketing world too. But for me, like I'm more of the branding because I don't do print, I don't do design work. I just kind of like let's throw stuff against the wall, see what happens.
Brand management.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, brand management.
That's what I learned today at this show is exactly.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, now I know what I can put on my CV. Brand
management.
That is, that's a specific.
But I mean, honestly, I'm not kidding because like there is a light bulb moment because like, oh no shit, Ryan. Of course it's brand management, but like I would call it branding and marketing, but brand management is
sounds good too.
Yeah, I need to change my everything. Brand management. But how do you sexify that? Like, how do you make that more like?
You don't.
No, it sounds.
Thank you.
Sounds pretty good.
Don't. Just don't.
I don't think anyone should really just take a
title
and just be like, let's make it sexy.
let's put like 10 exit.
Yeah. Be like brand management XXXXX.
No, I don't mean actually sexy. I didn't say pornify. I said like, like
pizzazz. It's very ambiguous.
Pizzazz, thank you.
Very ambiguous, just like marketing, I guess you could say.
I guess. I don't know. So as far as like what excites you the most about going out? Like, is it the brand management side? Is it the print side? Is it the or did I already ask this and this is whatever?
Personally, I want to go into brand management. Like that's kind of the space that I've seen myself gravitating more towards. But then kind of Yana's saying that she's very much more focused on the digital aspect, like hands-on stuff. I don't really necessarily want to be creating websites and like looking at that stuff.
You want to be like, don't do that. That's stupid.
Yeah, I think it's more like, just looking at the whole like purpose of a business and make like the grand scheme of stuff, and then creating the tactics, but not necessarily getting into the nitty gritty. Like,
so because you're in brand or want to do brand management, do you ever like pay attention to like pop culture or pay attention to celebrities or brands just to kind of like go, ooh, I wouldn't do that, or like just to see what they're doing? And do you ever just study that on your own?
I mean, I feel like I've always had a really big interest in like just like I like ads and everything on TV. Like obviously there's like some really annoying ads that I like to skip, but a lot of times I'll just like watch something I'm like, what are they doing? Like, why are they like, that's interesting. Like that they chose to kind of, show their product in this light and make this comedic versus like serious.
Right. Well, and you got the Super Bowl coming up on this weekend, and that's like the awards show of advertising.
Which one?
The Super Bowl?
Oh, Super Bowl. I didn't hear you say Super Bowl.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They used to be really good. Now it's kind of like, meh.
I just never really wathed the Super Bowl.
Not even for the ads?
But like, I'll watch the ads afterwards. Oh. But like, I might like tune in just for like, like the halftime performance. But yeah, I feel like a lot of times it's like afterwards I'll watch like the ads.
If it's, I don't know, is live PD on at the same time? Then I might be watching that instead.
Hey, YouTube. Could have it at any time.
I will
say
Puppy
Bowl's on at the same time.
What's that?
The Puppy Bowl.
Oh, the Puppy Bowl. I do know that
cable.
One.
I don't know what that is either.
I know the Puppy Bowl.
They're like little puppies. They're on a football field.
I can assume, but
it's cute.
I mean, I don't want to watch. I don't even know who's. Chiefs. That's about it. That's all I know.
I don't know either.
Wait, I don't even know who's playing the Super Bowl this year.
Two teams that play
definitely the Chiefs. That's all I know.
Chiefs.
There's also
the 49ers.
49ers. I knew it was
really?
Numbers.
Wait, the Patriots aren't playing. That's all I know. The Patriots always play.
Anyways, yeah, I don't care.
We should do a sports podcast with the three of us.
Yeah, we should be watching. We should be watching and like commenting, like, oh, he got a ball. Oh, now it's end zone. good time. It's like what
Like,
team?
and it's like, what team was it? The ones that have red jerseys.
The ones with the numbers on them. They all have numbers on it.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then that's it.
Well, I appreciate y'all coming in here. I know we just kind of was like a random, but that's what I wanted to do was just talk about, because I think in a lot of ways, because I do so much of what we've talked about, like the Facebook ads, the marketing, the demographics, the brand management, all those aspects, and the social media, all that stuff. It's like, okay, but what did I miss? What did I not get by not studying this in college? And I mean, other than a piece of paper, it sounds like real world application is all that really matters.
Yeah. I mean, I say like there's definitely stuff that you can read about that, like is kind of basic. You don't necessarily have to go about it, buy some sort of marketing textbook, but
Right.
I'm sure there's like stuff online that could be really helpful for you. And then certifications online, kind of like what Yana was saying, all that, like Google stuff.
Yeah. As far as like, again, going back to like the mediums of consumption, like what is your favorite app or whatever? And what I mean by that is it YouTube? Is it Netflix? Is it Snapchat? Is it Instagram? Is it a book? Like, what is the thing that y'all consume the most of, you think?
I think for me, it's definitely like a tie between YouTube and Twitter, but I feel like I use them for very different.
So you're still on Twitter.
Yeah, I think Twitter is huge. Like Snapchat,
Twitter is
like
huge.
completely like out. Like I don't ever really go on Snapchat anymore. Like Twitter is like,
Well, because I know Twitter is huge, but I just like, from my point of view, every time I try to get on Twitter, it's like all it is brands and celebrities. So what's the point?
I mean, we follow each other and like
Yeah.
stuff like that. So it's like really just keeping up with everyone that's our age. I feel like Snapchat.
So Twitter's coming back then.
Yeah, I feel like it is. Because I mean, there's just so much. I mean, you can be entertained for hours.
Right.
there's so many like the meme aspect of it. There's like joking, like there's accounts that are just big and popular, and they're just
What
post
is
random-
y'all Twitter handles?
At Yana _ YEAG.
Yeager.
Yeah, maybe with the ER or not. What's yours?
Mine's NatGon98. It's always
It's
that.
what?
NatGon98.
NatCon?
Gone.
GON.
Not gone.
Like Natalie Gonzalez.
Got it.
But yeah, I feel like there's like
I'll follow y'all on Twitter now. Like,
Oh my
I
God,
feel-
please don't.
Why? Damn.
I don't know. Like, I just feel like all the things that I put, or the things that I retweet, especially, they're just, you would be like, she's losing the brain cells
Yeah. I
will
like by
say
minute.
this. You just made Tommy so happy with that comment. Like, look at how he is crying with laughter.
I mean, I'm a very different person outside of Twitter.
Well, yeah.
And I mean, the things that I retweet, okay, I'll tell you straight up, I love Keanu Reeves.
she does like
I
Keanu
love
Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. You were like on a really big
Live
like
feeding.
Elon Musk hunt for a while.
Keanu Reeves.
I don't know if
I
that's
had,
still
I
a
had a
thing.
phase of Elon
Yeah.
Musk, and then he started dating his like
Grimes.
robot girlfriend.
Yo, that's
They're apparently
cute.
having a
Oh
child.
my god! I also like. I feel like Twitter's really big on news.
That
Okay.
child's name should be like C3PO or something. But so I had an Elon Musk phase. I love Tesla.
Right.
Right. I was like keeping up honestly with the stocks and everything. And then I was like, screw him, Keanu Reeves. And then I also went into digital marketing, and then the Matrix made sense. So Keanu Reeves really is just wonderful. And then John Wick came out. He's such a wonderful man.
Yeah.
I just can't begin on how wonderful he is.
And then you
Keanu
want-
Reeves, I'm free on Thursday. If you're free on Thursday, I'm in fact free on Thursday when I'm free.
He's got a girlfriend now, though.
No, he doesn't. Oh yeah, she looks 75.
She'll die soon. You're good.
I like them together, but for Yana's
What?
sake,
Natalie, break them up.
yeah, I'll go right to his house.
I'm a home record just for Keanu Reeves' sake.
You know, Keanu's like 60-something years old, too.
He's so
That's
cute
fine.
though.
You're like, I'm down, whatever.
We could play chess and
Have
drink
you ever
tea all
seen
day.
Bill and... Jess and T? Did you ever see Bill and Ted? Well,
Yes.
You've seen all of them?
Yes, I have. They're apparently coming out with another one.
Wow. I would love that because I also am a fan of Keanu Reeves, but I think in a different
But
way
didn't
than
he
you
die?
I think he was in jail or something,
Who?
or he had a drug problem.
Right.
Keanu Reeves?
No, his Ted. Bill.
I don't know who Bill Nye.
The science guy.
Have you not seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Homework.
So many people have not seen The Matrix, and I feel like now, out of all ages, you have to see The Matrix. Well, I mean,
I have not
honestly,
seen
all the time.
Matrix. I'm not a movie person at all.
Right.
I've seen
I love
like half
movies.
of like not even like a third of Pulp Fiction.
Well,
Like,
so
I'm
so
not-
here's a question I do have for you guys, because y'all know Tyler from the events. Like, one thing he told me about, like, his nieces are a little bit younger than you, and they did not know any like celebrities. Like, they could care two shits about celebrity culture. Their celebrities were YouTube stars.
Jake Paul. I'm like,
I guess, I don't know,
Yeah.
but like YouTube people, Instagram people. So for you guys, other than Keanu Reeves, like, who were the people that y'all are like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose my shit over that person?
as far as like the digital landscape,
Just any landscape, movies, music.
I'm like big into music, so I feel like I'm still kind of like that like music
You're-
fanatic.
She's
Robert
stuck
Downey Jr.
Oh, he's
There you go.
cute also.
Oh.
I like him. But
Chris Hemsworth.
on- Okay.
Thor.
Yeah.
I'd lose my marbles over him.
Yeah. So, if you had a choice between Robert,
I'm not gonna choose.
Keanu,
We're not
or
choosing.
Chris, who dies?
Who?
Sophie's choice.
I feel like Chris.
Chris.
Have you ever you know what
Yeah.
have you ever heard of what you know what a Sophie's choice is?
No, what is
No.
Do you know what that is, Tommy?
It's the same as the Catch-22.
Yeah.
What
Yes.
are both of
So
those?
Sophie, do you know who? Sophie's Choice is basically came from a movie. Who's the actress? Who's the most famous actress of all time right now? Like, wins all the
Angelina
awards.
Jolie.
I feel it's past her prime.
Who's past her prime? Angelina.
I think she's gorgeous, but she's just not in any movies anymore.
Right.
Like, I don't mean it in a
Maleficent.
bad way, but it's
Who
just
was
like
anyway? There's I forgot the actress's name. She's very famous. She's won like 20.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. She was in the movies like there was a movie like in this I don't know the 70s, and it's about the Holocaust in Germany. This is gonna get real dark, but she has the choice. She has two kids, and she has to choose which one lives, which one dies.
why does she have to choose?
Because the Nazis were fucked up.
But like, does she just get to take one?
Hold up.
You
what?
one lives, one dies,
Why?
or both die. Because they're Nazis. Do y'all not study
Did the
history?
Nazis say that to her? Is
Well,
it?
it's a movie, but I'm sure it did happen.
What were
Stuff
the
like
genders of the children?
I don't know.
Wait, which one does she choose?
It's like Bird
I
Box.
forget.
Does she
But-
choose one?
She does choose one. Because
Is it the girl?
I don't know.
It's probably the female.
Y'all are going into
I
the
need to
wrong
know.
details of this. The details is Sophie's Choice is it's an you
Which one's
can't-
blonde with blue eyes? I'm kidding.
I know.
That one's a free pass.
I love it. No, but a Sophie's Choice, if you ever hear that expression, what it means is it's an impossible choice. Because obviously if you have two kids, you're like, I don't know which one you can't choose.
You know,
Unless it's a boy with blonde hair and blue eyes.
I feel like
I'm
my
kidding.
parents would be like,
That'd probably kill me.
no, yeah, they'd be like, my sister's like, she has more potential.
Yeah, my brother's way smarter than me. They'd probably be like, "You weren't a lawyer."
For their sake.
I think we should do another show with these two, and literally all we do is just map out like
Who would
expressions,
live?
or that too, but like pop culture expressions or whatever that like. Well, I guess pop culture for me, but maybe not for you guys.
I feel like me and Yana, that's our
That's our life.
yeah. I feel like we're definitely in.
Other
that
than
space.
academics, we live completely through like Twitter and memes, and that is pretty much half our personality.
But the thing is, though, I mean, to me, that's huge. Just listening about Twitter because, again, I haven't used. I'm on Twitter, and I think this is cast to Twitter, but I don't pay attention to it. You know,
it's a wonderful platform. I mean, you get to see even news like almost at the time it happens, and like you go on the news page and you see all the trending things. So you almost don't need like CNN. I have the app, but like, do I need to go onto it to see just primarily news when I can go on a social media app
Right.
where I can go distract myself for hours on end, but also go and like see what's going on in like politics or like sports or like medicine or something like that, where it also is delivered right there, right then, because CNN also posts to Twitter. Like it's not something that I don't have like an immediate reach to. So, I mean, in that sense, I feel like apps are also dying through that. It's like almost like a battle for the best app.
Well, that's how it always is.
I know.
That's why like Snapchat, it was really big for people, like, and then all of a sudden it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
And that's why like Facebook, people are like, younger people are like, we don't use Facebook, but like Instagram still lives. And now like TikTok, I guess TikTok is real, whatever. I can't remember. Did y'all, when we were talking about TikTok the other day, do y'all use TikTok?
No.
Or y'all like meh? Is that no, like a real no or a fake no?
I actually don't follow Yana on TikTok, so I have no
Not
idea.
follow, but just consume.
Oh, do I consume it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I love it.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But one conversation that we were having, literally on the way over here,
Yeah.
saying that like it's so interesting to see how like my like For You page has changed from like when I first downloaded the app to like now, because like the content is very much like now like more like college age, like more like my type of humor versus like there's this whole other like weird like
There's like people that are like cosplayers. There's like anime people, which are very like animated, like to the max, and they should really stop. But there's also like just
like
Furries.
e-boys. I have.
Do you even know
Stop?
what that is?
No, like you can find.
Yeah.
It gets weird.
It gets.
oh yeah,
weird.
there's like
Did you say
furries and
furry?
stuff.
Yeah.
Furries, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they know.
I mean, do what you want with
Look
your
at them, they
life,
know.
but
I'm
like
just kidding, I don't know.
what really is just good about that app is that you can see that there's people that are just like you, I guess. Like, you know, they're all going through like mental breakdowns and they just cope with humor with it. And it's
Right.
just wonderful to see that.
I was so thankful when it came to TikTok because I don't consume it, a lot of it.
Yeah.
But like when you first got onto it about a year ago, like I guess because it was all like 12, 14, 15-year-old people and you're like, delete.
Mm-hmm.
But like now I'm pretty sure it's like, you know,
Diversified.
it's way more diversified, but I was just going back to the For You page. I think my For You page is like it's stupid jokes and like people working like woodworking or something. I'm like, oh, thank God.
Or even then, yeah, it's like maybe it's not necessarily like the stuff I consume, but I know there's like a slightly older like demographic
Right.
there that's like, or like I've seen like a lot of like parents, you know, problem like you know like content. So like even parents could use like TikTok.
So do y'all even consider or think about the negative consequences of TikTok? Because let me preface by saying Facebook is a public company, Google is a public company, and those are both United States based. TikTok is owned by a Chinese dude,
yeah.
like Solo, and they've already been sued before from the government for collecting too much data on children. Like, does that even worry you on any level at all?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've also known that like during the summer, I believe there was like those protests in where was it? Was it Hong Kong? Yeah. They were actually banning those so that the rest of the world wouldn't see, considering that TikTok is such a huge platform. Imagine how much information that can be like let out about those protests to educate people or, you know, whatnot. But just because it had the ownership of the Chinese man, he blocked all of those videos coming in. So nobody would know, you know, like they didn't have that visual. They only saw what they read, and that was from American outlets, really. So having that from, you know, a worldwide perspective, anyone could really film it and just post it. They didn't have that.
So what's interesting about that is because when I used to live over in the Middle East, so did you.
Uh-huh.
And what year did you move out?
2015.
Is when you moved back to the United States?
I never lived in the United States.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. So, but you were in Abu Dhabi in like 2010 era?
Uh-huh.
So in 2010, you won't remember this, but in 2010, there was like a huge, almost Iranian revolt going on, and the entire world was watching this. And we're like, oh my God, we're on the cusp of history. There's going to be this revolution, and down with Ayatollah, blah, 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 blah. And then Michael Jackson died.
Oh.
And when that happened, all media attention went to Michael Jackson, and it was almost like that. The beginnings of this revolution died in its tracks, and the reason I bring that up is it's almost a way to tie into this whole conversation about the marketing and how literally, like, if you could just get attention to something, like in that example, the world's support of that potential revolution just died because everybody's worried about Michael Jackson.
Well, also I feel like having so much negative connotation with like war and everything, like hearing about that all the time and then having someone like Michael Jackson die, I feel like people much rather turn their attention to that as well. Not only just because it was a great tragedy, but just because to get involved with that type of news is so much easier and so much, I guess, in a bad way better than to just get involved with knowing more about the war. Like, I'm Ukrainian, and we had that whole Crimea thing go down in like 2014, and for a long time, I mean, not too long, but it was very much covered by, international news and everything, and then all of a sudden just stopped, although it kept on going. And I was wondering, like, me and my mom were talking, we were just like, why is it still not being covered, even though there's still like high death rates and all of that stuff? And it's just because moved on. It's not something of like high interest anymore, and like it's constantly just like it's just a whole like sea of information that people will just flood to from one aspect to another, and like media sources, to just keep up with the streams and everything, they have to go where the people go. So like if they don't care about Ukraine as much as I love Ukraine, like if they don't go to it, the media sources won't go to it. There's something much more interesting or much more like distracting that they could look at. So yeah, that's just media.
Yeah, media.
Cool.
So as far as consumption, and I probably already asked this 3 times, what is your favorite app? Like, and I'm talking about like just like what do you like the most? Is it? I think you said Twitter.
Yeah, I had to choose Twitter.
I would say Twitter or TikTok. Honestly, right now I feel like in a year or so it'll die out.
I'm not completely sold on TikTok. Like, I use it, but it's not like excessively.
I don't see how, like, if you're that Charlie person, Charlie whatever her name is, I could see how someone like that can monetize it, because literally she could just be like, hey, everybody, Venmo me $1. And if 1,000 people do, like, ooh, money.
Jovent.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how people make money on TikTok. So
I mean, how do people make money? Like, I don't know, pretty much on anywhere.
Like
one thing that it's interesting that I started seeing, and then people are just like, or like, like they started catching it, is that all these kind of like advertisements. Because I think at first people be like, oh my God, I love this mascara, it's like my saving grace. But now you're kind of starting to see like people,
the affiliates,
yeah, and then people are just like, wait a second, this isn't like genuine, this is like ads.
Yeah, there's a lot of things on TikTok where it's like, this is how like my face like routine or something and stuff like that, and they like
that one product, I don't know if that's real or not.
Which one?
The acne one, that's like the little like tub.
Oh yeah, no, I've never seen it. Anyway, like they like show you things and they're like, oh, it's so good, and you like try and find it, and like there's some things that you can like buy on Amazon and stuff like that, and like you kind of want to buy it because like what if it works on me or something, and or like even like projectors that light up like a night sky on your ceiling. So, and like a lot of girls like turn off their lights and put it on before they go to bed or something, and like you're like, oh, it's so pretty, like I wonder if like I want to buy it or something. And whether it's paid or not, you almost don't know sometimes.
So because y'all pretty much grew up in the influencer marketing heyday,
right?
Like I grew up, obviously before, during, after. So like I don't care, to me I don't really care that my favorite whatever uses a skincare product or uses a radio, like, and I know, like, for me personally, I'm going to buy this thing because I want to buy it, not because
somebody else
wants it.
What about celebrity ads?
Well, that's what I'm saying is like,
no,
it
but
doesn't,
like, those like old like ads with like celebrities with watches or like cars.
Right, but those are like ads. Those are like on TV, but I'm talking like the social media era where you may not know it was an ad, but like that's like, because Instagram, they actually, oh, by the way, now you have to declare that it's a paid sponsorship. But like, because y'all are like that target demographic where you just were like hammered with that stuff, were you always aware of it, or was there a moment of, oh my God, I'm being sold to, my whole life is a lie?
A little bit, but again, I think it really started up once we were like starting to get a little bit older and more aware about that stuff. I think it's completely different now because you know, we see all those like middle schoolers, like elementary school kids, like watching like Jake and like Logan Paul, and they're like being sold all this like Team 10 merch, like and shit like that.
I have no clue what you're talking about, but I'm consuming it.
Yeah.
I feel like we grew with ads. So like our generation grew with we also didn't have money when we were younger. So like as we grew with ads, like not only did we not know if it was paid or not, so it was like, can we buy it? Can we not buy it? And like we didn't have money, so we didn't buy it. And like even now that we know that it is a paid ad, I'm like, really, why do we need like something like, I don't know, like Kendall Jenner like is selling some kind of like whitening toothpaste or something. Like, do I need it? No. Like I can go and get something else probably for cheaper. But I feel like right now, like my brother, he's 11 and he has an iPhone, and he literally bought like 10 packs of Orbeez, which are those like balls that grow in water. And then, yeah, why? I don't know. He saw it on Instagram and it was like $1 for a packet, and he had the money for it. You know, if I, like when I was 10, we did have like Instagram and stuff, but it wasn't, first of all, that pushed. Like I feel like it was more like when we were 15 and like,
was Instagram around when we were 10?
Yeah, it had that like really bad like I don't know.
I don't think I made my first Instagram account like literally 8th grade.
Yeah, I made mine like 9th grade. But like I remember going on it and it was just literally people with like their cat.
I think I made mine like 4 years ago.
Yeah. But even like in 8th grade, like I was like 12. No,
like
yeah,
we didn't care, but we didn't care about like to buy
12.
things, because first of all, we
or
didn't
15.
we
I was
didn't
15.
have the amenities to buy things. You know, like things that we want, and like also it's so sketchy. I feel like during that time, our parents would be like, "No, don't buy it online. Like you never know." Like now, especially like Amazon and deliveries are so much more like secure and stuff. I feel like it's more I guess it's almost like a normal thing to buy things online, when before it was kind of like, unless you really want it and you want to pay the shipping fee,
Do they ever, and again, I'm just randomly going back to the school aspect, do they talk about market disruptors like that? Like Amazon?
Yes. They have taught us market disruptors a lot.
So what do you think is the next because and the reason I'm asking this, because I feel like y'all would have more insight than like other people, just because.
Well, why would we tell you?
Because I'm asking and I'm being polite and you like me. Well, you're a good actor. I don't know.
I mean, what is like a market
Well, Amazon was a disruptor. It knocked out a ton of businesses.
Well, right. And then like Tesla was. Shout out Elon.
Yo, that baby's gonna be so weird.
That baby's gonna be so weird.
It's gonna be baby robot. Hashtag baby robot.
Baby's gonna come out like beep boop beep boop.
Have you seen Elon before the hair plugs?
Before the hair plugs?
Oh yeah, he was complete like when PayPal era. Yeah. Homie was balding.
And you're into that, or used to be.
Used to be.
Got it. But then the plugs came and you're out.
Then he got money, and we love money.
Shout out to money.
Shout out money. Capitalism. Let's go.
Tommy, do you want to take this moment to teach them your favorite business quote?
Yeah, so I went to school at A&M. We did industrial distribution, but my favorite professor, he like sold 3 businesses by the time he was 28 and like retired himself. It was awesome. But he says in business, if you love me, say it with a check. Like that's all you need. Like you don't need favors or clout or even credit. Like don't just pay me.
Yeah,
just pay me. That's it.
So anyway. So I've really enjoyed this. I hope y'all did too. Mm-hmm. The whole point of this is just to have a fun conversation, and if there are insights, like again, huge insight to me was brand management. I'm like, oh yeah, dummy. But then also like, oh, maybe I should start paying attention to Twitter some more. And there's probably a lot of stuff in there, like Live PD. That's huge.
You should check it out.
I will. And who knew about your love of Keanu Reeves?
Everyone.
Who are you in love with?
Who am I in love with?
Yeah. Because we learned Elon, we've learned Keanu, and Chris.
Chris is all right.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying.
So
Yeah.
you could kill him off.
At least that's the obvious choice for me.
No comment.
Yeah.
No comment.
No.
I don't have like
You don't have a man's?
an idol. Like, I mean, again, like going back to like, I'm more into music. So I would die for like Excision.
With who?
Excision. That man doesn't do anything
is
wrong.
that?
He's a DJ.
Oh, you're the EDM world?
Both. I'm like half like indie rock, half like EDM. But literally in my eyes, that man cannot do anything wrong. I will give all my money to him.
Noted.
But yeah, like I don't really have like somebody like Keanu Reeves that like in that.
Did you see how much she lit up?
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
like, oh God.
I feel like that's how I get with Excision.
Okay.
But that's like different because I feel like, artists are like have more of that kind of like, like godlike fan base.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't really, unless it's T Swift, like woo. But actually,
T Swift.
Taylor.
Let's talk about that.
We don't like
You don't,
her
you don't like Taylor? What's wrong with Taylor Swift?
so much.
She ran through so many men.
And she's also always playing victim. Oh, poor me.
Yeah, that's some.
And her music just
questionable
isn't-
red flags. Like
Don't like her music. You don't like Shake It Off?
And she's too skinny.
I don't
She
think
has
We're,
plenty
we're
of
not
those.
body shaming, but
Yeah.
like she is skinny.
she's a skinny legend.
Yeah, it's skinny.
She has
Who
a
else do
lazy
you not
eye.
like? What's that?
She has a lazy eye.
Does she?
I don't know.
Oh, I was like, you really look into Taylor Swift, huh? You really got a vendetta against her. I don't know. I don't like some contestants on The Bachelor. That's about it.
I wouldn't know.
Exactly. I mean, I really just try to love everyone.
That's not true.
Shout out to Pilot Pete.
Pilot Pete.
What's Pilot Pete?
He's The Bachelor.
Oh,
You should watch that.
I am definitely not watching that.
Oh, that's
Like,
how I
I'll-
was.
Like you tell me to like, hey, you should download this app because it's a market disruptor. You should really be on TikTok more. Okay, I'll give it a go. I'm not doing it.
Vouch puts on Bachelor Mondays.
I know. I need to go to those to are you still helping out with that at all?
No, my internship ended in the summer,
Got
but
it.
I still get the emails and stuff, and I really do support her and everything.
She said hey earlier.
Oh, I know. I watched that one.
I'm talking about on here.
Oh, I watched the podcast.
Oh, cool. Did you like it?
It was wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Anytime.
Oh,
Anytime.
Anytime.
see, she's nice.
Sometimes.
You're saying it like I'm not nice.
I'm saying like I was trying
You're
to
like, she's nice.
I was alluding it like we were talking behind her back, like you didn't like her.
Like, she's nice. What about you, Natalie? Are you nice?
I like Natalie.
She's so nice.
I feel so attacked right now. They're like, she's
No.
nice. I promise.
Like, I promise.
No.
Say something nice, quick.
You're out of all the people that worked, you work way harder than she does at the event. You know that's true.
The camera.
Oh my god.
The lights are so bright. Well, anyway, one more question, just because this is a Tyler question I've been asking everywhere this. If a celebrity was going to play in a movie, who would it be? About your life.
Oh, about my.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson can play anybody. She'll play everybody in the
She'll play everybody. She'll have every role.
I don't even know who looks like me.
It didn't have to look. It's just whoever.
Whoever.
I feel like
I know your answer.
Keanu Reeves.
put a wig on him.
She's going to say Angelina Jolie or something.
No, I feel like that's more my mom. Is that good or bad? You decide for yourself.
No, I just think it's funny because
Who,
like,
the person who I can't say her name, the one from Lady Bird.
Shirosha Moshmosha.
She can't do no wrong. Everything
Oh,
she
yeah.
touches gold.
Women.
I feel
Yeah.
like she could
Shirosha.
embody me.
Okay.
I would have to say,
Wow.
Jennifer. Which Katniss Everdeen?
Lawrence?
Lawrence. Maybe. Bro, I don't know. I don't know anyone that.
Face. She's like, no.
No, I feel like she's like so like really quirky, but not in like like she doesn't embody your.
I have no clue.
You know what? Who would you play? Who would you get to play her in a movie?
Yeah.
That might have been the better question.
I think I would for you, Shailene Woodley.
Shailene Woodley?
Dude, she's
Yeah.
batshit crazy.
I feel like she's
What?
I feel like she's too like
She
She
doesn't
kind of
shower.
look. I mean,
she
she
looks like
kinda
you. I feel like maybe what's her name?
Kristen Stewart?
She could play me maybe.
Oh yeah, I could see
Yeah.
that.
I don't know. Y'all both of y'all close your mouth too much. So, because she's
Huh?
always like,
A mouth breather.
she's a mouth breather. Yeah.
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
I wanted to be her so bad just to be with Edward.
Oh my Edward.
Team Edward.
Shout out to Edward.
Which one was he?
The vampire.
The vampire. He was the cold-blooded man.
But I don't
Sparkled.
know who could play you.
No one can play me. I really don't know anyone.
She's one of a kind.
I really am.
Yeah.
What would you think?
For you?
Oh yeah,
Oh God, I have no clue.
exactly.
Shailene Woodley, she's batshit crazy.
90s era Christina Ricci.
I don't know why that's funny. Like the Addams
so
Family
specific.
Yeah.
one? Like when she was like 12?
I don't know. She doesn't look like
Wednesday?
Wednesday, yeah. Dye your hair black. Somebody don't look like Wednesday.
Somebody told me that I look like Georgina from Gossip Girl. I don't know if you.
I don't know what that is.
But I'm not like her.
Georgie, Gossip Girl or Mean Girls?
Oh, which one? No, there's a Georgina Sparks in Gossip Girl.
Ah, yeah, that girl.
No, I didn't see it. I got called her in middle school, and I was really mean. That was really mean.
Well, anyways, I appreciate y'all coming on. I know we just went random. And that was the whole point of it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope
Yes, I had a great time. Thank you.
I actually was going to ask y'all if I'm doing an event on the 20th, if y'all would like to help out with that.
20th of
February, Thursday night in Dallas, so it's not in Grapevine.
Oh yeah. So far, I'm good.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't think I have work stuff, but
Cool. So anyway, appreciate you coming in. Did y'all
Yeah,
enjoy
loved
it?
it.
Did y'all learn anything? Did y'all forget anything? What did you think? What did you hope that we would get into? What we didn't go into?
it's just kind of there's this constant like worry in the back of my head about my career, and that's just made it worse. But that's fine.
This made it worse.
Yeah, it's like just like actually like talking about it. You're just like, I think I'm in the right career.
Are you a senior as well?
No, I'm a junior.
Okay.
So I got
Well, then
some time.
you get a full year to worry.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that it's like I don't like to think about that stuff, but you have to.
Mm-hmm. So, but what specifically about this made you worry about it?
Again, I'm like I kind of know that I
Bad
want to go
exposure.
I want to go into like brand management and stuff like that, but it's just kind of like realistically when it how it's gonna play out. Am I gonna get a job in that field? And if I don't, then what? Have to do something else.
Just
Like
create your own.
That's so much
I-
money.
I'm not.
Hello, Elon.
We know what you want. You just
Give us money.
you're like how much money do you have? Let's get married.
Yeah, prenup. Let's go.
No prenup.
Yes, prenup.
Why would you want a prenup?
I don't know. I
I
feel like
wouldn't.
that's
There's
what rich
prenup-
people do.
There's a prenup. You don't get the money.
Exactly. Yeah. If
Oh,
if
wait.
you
You want the
marry
opposite
the
of a
rich,
But that's
prenup.
what rich people do.
if you're the
Because
rich
they're-
person,
If somebody was rich and they got a prenup and they married you and then they got a divorce and there's a prenup, guess what? You get nothing.
What if I burn it?
It doesn't matter. But if there's no prenup, you get a hat. Do you know who Paul McCartney is?
yeah,
Yes.
He's a Beatle.
Yeah.
we know who Paul
We know
McCartney
who he
is.
is.
His ex-wife, Heather Mills, was married for like a minute,
Just one.
got half the Beatle money
Or like the Amazon guy.
Good for her.
because there was no prenup.
Good for her.
No good for her. That's Beatle money.
The Amazon,
Yeah,
but she helped him.
I know she helped
That's a
him,
different story.
but
I agree
it's
with that one.
I understand it's different, but I
If he had a prenup,
she wouldn't have gotten
Hands.
as much money if there was a prenup.
because I mean, she was still okay. Whatever. That's too much. I mean, okay. I feel like if you are to start your own brand and to actually have that trial and error and everything, you need a heck ton of money. I'm just saying.
I just don't think I could ever be an entrepreneur.
Why?
I just don't have that drive in me. I want to work for somebody else. I rather like it's really.
You want the security?
She's so real about it. I love it.
So what is an entry level marketing like position? Like what's the salary expectations and something like that?
Low.
No, also, it depends what industry
Yeah.
you go into. That's the biggest thing.
Marketing.
Okay, but like where at? Because you can do like marketing at, I don't know. I really don't know exactly if they have it, but maybe like Raytheon or something, knowing that it's a huge defense
Contractor.
defense kind of place. Yeah, like you could probably get more money out of that instead of going to something smaller, you know? It's all depends on the company. I mean, that kind of makes sense. And like also if you are going to like maybe an advertising company and like you go abroad, you get all those like benefits and stuff. So like it really just depends on your job, because there's a bunch of entry level jobs that do make you go abroad and you do get that international status and bonus. So
like, do you work for PepsiCo? Do you work for Mary Kay? Like,
Yeah.
I heard media, like that changes.
Well, the thing is, like, because I've been in the entrepreneurial space for like 10 plus years, and or more than that, probably more like 15 years, and I also did some international stuff as well. But I know several years ago, I was at a buddy of mine's like a network event, and he was a lawyer, and it was his event. I actually haven't talked to him in years, but now he's got billboards everywhere. But like at that event, there was like 3 or 4 younger attorneys, and they were just like running around, like getting like, woo, drinking. And I was like, I didn't understand why they were so happy. And the reason they were happy is because they were drinking on the company credit card. And later I learned like, oh, because they only made $35,000 a year. And I'm like, but y'all are lawyers. They're
that's
like,
why
yeah,
I didn't go to law school.
but they're entry level lawyers. So it blew my mind that. So like when I ask like what's the expectation, like I genuinely have no idea. Is it $30,000? Is it $50,000? Is it $150,000? I just don't know.
wish.
For digital marketing, I have looked at the salary stuff and it's like 45K
Like
is
starting.
like, well, it's from 45 to 100. No, to like 70 something. So it depends. They can't give you like a set
What about
price.
brand management?
We don't. I mean, you could look it up.
It totally depends, because also like certain with brand management, certain industries require you to have like a master's. So like it's
Yeah, it also depends on your degree type.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, riveting.
Riveting, ain't it?
Well, anyway, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, no problem.
Is Yana Yeager Natalie Gonzalez. Thank you so much for doing this. I've really enjoyed this. I know it's been completely random. There's probably like no like real value there, but I don't care. Like that's the whole point of doing your own thing. Just have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So did
Thank
y'all
you so
enjoy
much.
it?
Yes, it was wonderful.
Do you regret it yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, good.
Give me a couple hours.
Give me a couple hours. Ryan, delete that.
Please.
Please delete
But
that.
it was fun. Thank you so
Good.
much for having us.
Well, thank you. Any final thoughts, Tommy?
No.
Thank you.
What about y'all? Final thoughts? Anything?
No, it's just kind of cool to do a podcast. Something to like cross off the, list.
That was just to do a podcast?
Yeah.
Or just to see like.
I've
what I
always
did
wanted to do a podcast, to be honest.
You've never done a podcast? Well, okay, yeah.
There's like this podcast called Call Her Daddy. And I really like it. No, it's actually pretty good. It talks about like all like women, and like what they go through in college and stuff like that. It's kind of funny, but yeah,
Cool.
loved it. Thank you.
Shout out to call your daddy.
Call her daddy.
Call her daddy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody.
Yeah.